So the name of our podcast is I'm Back, Baby.
What is
Can
it
you
called?
say I'm back, baby?
A back baby?
No, I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby.
Okay, I get it.
Can you say, hi, I'm Tara Reid, and I'm back, baby?
Absolutely. Okay. Hi, I'm Tara Reid, and I'm back, baby.
Woo!
Baby, I'm back. Baby, I'm back. Baby, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Baby, I'm back. Where you from? Baby, I'm back. Where you been? Baby, I'm back. Where you going? I'm back, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you think she's gonna show up?
I don't know. I don't even know if we're actually communicating with her manager.
You think this is like a random guy?
Well, I feel like, just like when we were doing the other one, I feel like we're being catfished.
I found him on Craigslist. Is that a red flag?
No, you didn't.
I know, I'm just
The
kidding.
Craigslist killer, which is such a scandal.
Is this guy gonna kill us? Yeah, we honestly have no idea if like.
Well, it could even be an impersonator. Like, we
What if
would
it's-
never know.
What if it's the other Tara Reid?
It's not.
How do you know?
That person does not have a manager. If that person has a manager, then what the fuck are we doing?
What the fuck are we doing with our lives?
Like, I mean, but it could be, but I never thought about that. It could be like a celebrity lookalike. You know how there's like all these doppelgangers running around?
If it's a celebrity lookalike, she's gonna give us like really juicy answers.
Maybe. But we would never know. Do you
Yeah.
think that's ever happened to anybody?
Has anyone ever accidentally booked a celebrity lookalike?
Yeah, how would they ever know?
It's very possible.
I'm so hungry. And I'm so tired.
This
I
is
just
our-
like want to cry and sleep.
This is our usual pep talk before our big interviews. Us complaining about how much we don't want to do this.
Well, when I was in acting class in Toronto, oftentimes
Yes.
I was in a film class, and she was like, I'd like to conduct the class like an audition scenario.
That's a nightmare.
But I would get so stressed that I would like lie down like on a bench in the room.
And just start crying,
And I'd be like,
be in a fetal position.
because at the time I was like, oh, I'm really relaxed. And I was like, no, I was shutting down.
You were shutting down.
And I think that's what's happening now. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't care. But it's because I'm stressed.
It's funny how your body shuts down because my body usually just runs away. I remember my first pitch to Comedy Central. I had like one line, like literally
What
had
is it?
one line. It was like,
That's scarier than talking the whole time, by the way.
and like it was a room full of people. I was like 23.
Okay.
They walk in, and then I turn to my friend Jake and I go, I think I'm gonna go. And he's like, what? I'm like, nah, I think I'm leaving. So he like held my arm. He's like, you're not going anywhere. That's how I feel right now. I want to go.
I know, I want to leave, but it's weird because we're at home. We're like in the safest space.
So it's 4:57. Tara's supposed to meet us in 3 minutes.
I'm gonna
we
throw
have
up.
we have no idea if she's coming.
I
What are the
like-
odds? What are the
Hope
odds?
she-
Like,
I'm sorry, I hope she doesn't.
what are the Vegas odds that she shows up?
I mean, I think she's going to.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not going to be upset if she doesn't.
I mean, I'd be disappointed. We're all set up. You did your makeup. I did
I
my
looked
makeup.
my best that I've ever looked
This is
today.
the best you've ever looked in your life.
Hey, I'm allowed to say it. No, I say it, not you. Never say it. What year did American Pie come out in? I don't even.
I think 99.
So when would it have come to VHS? Like 2010? So I guess I was 10 when I showed this movie at a party.
You showed this movie when you were 10? No wonder everyone thought you were a pervert.
No, nobody thought I was a pervert. No.
Delayed response. Yeah, did that? You had sex with the Barbie, or you had Barbies
Oh,
having
yeah, I
sex?
used to make my Barbies have sex. I used to like to press their naked bodies together.
That's
and
classic
like
pervert.
Well, I also used to, this is even weirder.
Tell me.
I like to take off their clothes and cut their hair and then scan them.
That you understand? That's straight out of My Favorite Murder.
It's like a serial
he
killer.
took her, he kidnapped her, he shaved her head, and he
then
washed her
then
hair
and
for
then
4
took,
days.
And then he took pictures of her. But I scanned her, and then I'd upload it, and I would look at it.
That's so freaking creepy.
Yeah, but I'm okay. Like, I haven't...
Here it comes. Here she comes.
Oh, no.
What happened? Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh my God. I'm speechless. I'm without speech.
Wait, she might not be able to hear us yet.
Okay, she definitely can't hear. I'll do that line again when she comes back.
All right, let's do it.
So I feel like everyone knows who you are. Tara Reid. Everyone knows your body of work. Everyone knows everything there is to know about you. But I don't know if they necessarily know all these incredible things that you kind of had to overcome to not only work in this insane industry, but consistently work for 25 years.
I think we've done over 100 movies.
You've done over 100
Yeah,
movies.
your IMDb is huge.
You were discovered in a mall when you were
It's
5 years old. How does a 5-year-old get discovered in a mall? Were you like performing Shakespeare by the Hot Topic?
No, it's actually really funny. So because we lived in Jersey, there was a huge mall. And like we were in the food court and I was with my older brother and my mom. And this lady happened to be visiting her daughter.
Right.
And she was a talent manager for kids. So she saw me and me and my brother were like teasing each other, like, nah, 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 like being bad kids. And she saw me and she's like, your daughter is so funny and whatever,
That's
pretty,
so funny.
whatever. And then she goes, listen, we're doing a movie. So the lady found me and my mom's like, well, I don't even know if she can act. Like she's 5, like, you know, so no one really knew what to do. She goes, just trust me. They've been looking for this girl forever.
So
she
funny.
has to be this age. And mom's like, okay, maybe, you know. And she talked to my dad and like, why not? Just try it out. And I auditioned for it and I got the part that night. It was a good beginning.
So Neva and I have been trying to be discovered at malls for 5
Oh my God,
years.
yes. I thought that was a real, like, I remember in high school, I'd get dressed up and I was like, today's the day. Like, it's going to happen.
Because they used to have
Yeah.
like 500 kids would show up at it.
I used to hang out by the Panda Express and do a monologue from Glenn Ross, just waiting to be discovered by Steven Spielberg. And like it just never happened. So the fact that this happened to you at such an early age is amazing. New Jersey represent. So what's really interesting is not many people know this. So you went to high school with some like incredibly talented people. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jerry O'Connell, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, Christina Ricci. I mean, there was a lot of people.
Oh,
Dash
cool.
me
I went to
up.
high school with nerds. You went to high school with like movie stars. Did you guys have like insane parties and like was Macaulay Culkin ever sliding down the stairs?
I'll tell you something that's actually a great story. So in this, because it was professional children's school, we were all actors pretty much. There was dancers kind of in there too, but we would leave because we were allowed to leave for auditions. So as soon as there was a test for biology or whatever we were taking, we'd all leave for the same audition, and there'd only be like 2 people there for the test, and then we'd find out everything and like ace them. So we
That's
left
so
every day
funny.
saying we had an audition. So because it's the only school that you could do that. You just sign in to
Right.
the principal and just say, I have an audition. So we skipped school all the time. You know what I mean? And we go in the
Right.
park. Ben Taylor was one of them too. Carly Simons, you know.
Yeah.
Son. There was more people. Donald Faison, who was in Scrubs.
Whoa.
Who you keep in touch with? I know. 'cause
Yeah,
you're on
there's
this
just
podcast.
it's just been a lot of people, but we were all really friendly, you know. And
I want to go to that high school reunion. So
yeah,
bad.
it was great,
Yeah.
and we had fun. And we really had fun, you know. And
That's amazing.
I mean, there's just no school like that you could just sign
Right.
in for an audition and go out, you know.
I know,
so,
that'd be the best. To
yeah,
just
it was
leave.
pretty cool.
Oh my God! If I went to school with Macaulay Culkin, I would have house parties and set up like booby traps,
what I was
like in,
thinking.
He did
like in
have-
Home Alone.
He
did
did
that?
have these big house parties.
Did
Like,
he,
Tell
did he
us.
set
he
up
also
traps?
has, I don't even know it. I think it's 6 brothers and sisters. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes,
there's a
there's
lot.
a group.
So they had this big brownstone, and he was at the top of his game then, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember just walking because I was best friends with his brother, Shane Culkin, and I like lived with them, you know, half the time because I didn't want to take the bus into New York every day, and lived right there. So I mean, it was just a good experience, and you know, a different kind of experience. Like I know my brothers and sisters went to school and a regular school, and their experience was completely different.
They must have been so jealous of you, Tara.
Well,
that you
they
were going
made
to
fun of me
these-
because I used to wear like Doc Martens and all that kind of stuff. So my
Those are
style
cool.
was a little bit different, but
Yeah.
I liked it. You know, remember when Tiffany would have all her bracelets on? You know, the rubber ones.
Yes.
I had that on. I was really Jersey. Remember the Z Cavarici?
Oh, I lived in my Z.
I
Cavarici.
loved it.
I'm Long Island.
Parachute pants with all the
Represent.
zippers. You know.
Oh my God! I used to wear Sergio Tacchini. I don't know if you know about those, but I used to rock those.
I'm sure you did.
You beat Charlize Theron and Liv Tyler for the part of Bunny in Big Lebowski.
It's crazy.
I mean, tell us about that.
amazing.
Well, it was
how did that
funny
feel?
because I went in for the first edition. I see two girls in the waiting room, and it's Liv Tyler and Charlize Theron. And I said, "There's no way I'm going to get this role." And then we got a call, and I got it. That's when it made me from that go to Urban Legend, Cruel Intentions. You know, I don't even know how many movies I've done.
American Pie.
Oh,
This movie kind of changed my life in many ways.
oh my God, me too.
It taught me how to laugh, but Tara, it taught me how to love. Neva and I are really good at Chris Klein sings, and we wanted to do it for you, and we wanted you to rate us from 1 to 10.
Chris did actually sing. He's a good singer.
Beautiful
He's a
voice,
good
like an
He
singer.
angel.
really does.
Yeah.
But speaking of angelic voices, ready, Neva?
Oh.
Do you believe in magic? Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Bop, Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Bop, yeah, magic.
I'm so happy for that you guys are engaged. You're such a cool couple.
Because no
Like,
other
good
two
for
people.
you. No, but it really works. You know, you said you were shy when you were younger, and I feel like you came out of that. Like you're very like
I pushed her out of
you're
it,
so
Tara.
sweet and you're fun
Yeah.
and you're hilarious too. So I
You
mean,
know what?
that's
I put
really
my pants
special
on
to
one
have
leg
that.
at a time.
Because not everyone does. Did you know when you met her, was she the one? Did you just know
The
absolutely?
second,
Oh, I knew
the
too right away.
The
Really?
second I saw
yeah.
her, when I heard her laugh, Tara, it was so
That's
so
really
infectious.
important. Like
Yeah,
people that don't make it, laughing is a healing
Cute.
power.
Oh my God,
It,
yes.
it really is. So when you could have that together, which you guys clearly, I could see the chemistry have it. That's magic. You know,
That
like
is
you guys
magic.
are super cool, and the fact that you guys could do the same thing and work out of, I believe it's your house. I can see in the background.
Yes.
I mean, does it get any easier, especially in this town because it's a hard town?
you know, you really were in the biggest movies around, you know, between 1999 and 2005, and there was a time Hollywood could be so unfair, like the certain labels they put on people. Me personally, I've been labeled very nerdy. I only get the parts of like the IT guy. You know, I've played 4 rabbis.
Yes.
But and it becomes this
You're
thing where like
hilarious.
you know, I try, Tara, but you know, it becomes this thing where it's difficult to escape. When they mentioned that you were a quote unquote, which is such an unfair label, but the ultimate party girl. How did you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think they got that because, in a certain way, like, I was kind of a jet setter. You know, like I was
Yes,
doing
yes.
Paradise, I was doing all these things, traveling, going to Saint Tropez, going to Ibiza.
Right.
So
yeah.
it kind of got marked like that. But I never did anything wrong. Like I'd never
Right.
been arrested. I never,
course.
you know, I had a sex tape or anything like that. So I
Right.
mean, I kind of felt that was unfair.
Yeah.
But I was really
you got like grouped
mistaken.
into it, but it's not what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you're mistaken from that, you know, and people don't forget certain things. But I was like, guys, let me put this in a real story, okay?
Right.
Look what you looked like in high school,
Right.
and now look what you look like now.
right.
You changed.
D-
It's
totally.
completely different. So stop judging me from being 20. I'm 45 now, you know.
Right.
So
That's so true.
Do you feel like the label though affected your career though?
100%, 100%. And then it was really hard to get cast again. For a while, I didn't understand it because you had like all these other actresses. I don't know have to say the names.
You could say the names.
They did so many things that were wrong,
Right.
and I didn't do anything like that.
Right.
And they all made multi-million dollars or maybe even $1 billion. You know what I mean? So it hurt me, not just that because I was such a tabloid person. So they make money off of you.
Yeah.
So like, one of the things I think they should do is if everyone's making money off you, they have to give the actor something too. And I don't
Yeah.
understand why Screen Actors doesn't do that. It's wrong.
Yeah, like I feel like some people like benefit from like the tabloid stuff. Like it's like, oh, now we have to go see their movie. It's interesting. Is that going to happen when we see the movie? But then other people, it like is kind of like a barrier, like an obstacle.
Yeah.
It's like, why
Yeah,
is
it
that?
is that.
Right?
But like, I really think social media can be very good because you can clean
Right.
up what they say, or it can be bad because people bully you on it.
Yeah.
Was there ever like a specific part that you just had your mind set on that you were so excited about, but you found that you were impeded from getting because of this unfair label?
I mean, I think there is really a lot, like I'd be second runner up, I mean, and it was a huge difference because I remember I lived in New York City for a while. You know how they all those shops, that in New York, and they have like newsstands and they have like
Oh,
they put all the
yeah.
magazines and everything in it. I remember walking in New York City and I look over and I was by myself. I look over and I see cover of Rolling Stone, I'm on it, the cover
God.
of Maxim,
Oh my God.
and the cover of Entertainment Weekly. I was on every single cover at the time, and I was like,
Wow.
"Oh my gosh!" Like that's kind of when it hit, And then
Right.
also it got dangerous out here with all the paparazzi because it's scary. They
Yeah.
run you off the road.
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you've heard Reese Witherspoon call 911 a million times about
Yeah.
it.
And well,
They
we just
block you in.
and we just watched the Britney documentary, and it was like, oh my God, like
Yeah, I
this is
watched it too.
crazy. Like I felt like I was like wanted to cry the whole time, like
Yeah,
what we
I
did.
watched it too, and I related to a lot of the things.
Yeah.
And she had such a hard time, and no one really knew what her struggle was, And
No.
I think even the conservative, that her dad has everything. Like I don't find that she's a mother and she's grown up a lot. She proved it by doing her shows in Vegas. She can do
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, if she can do
And
that.
then
Yeah.
her dad, she just went to court, still didn't give it back to her conservatorship. But I mean, it's just like, what are you doing? And he needs to let her free. And
I
that's
agree.
why, I'm sure you heard this on the news. It's kind of everywhere, like Free Britney and stuff
Yeah.
like that. People also, I think, realize that how many times did she cry in those interviews? She was sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it broke my heart.
It's so
for her.
interesting, Tara, because I feel like we look back in retrospect and we kind of hang our heads in shame a little bit of all the jokes that we made, that the media made about Britney, about Paris, and I feel like they're getting their apology. Do you feel, just because you were friends with these people, do you feel like you got your apology in a sense?
Never. I never have. And one of the things that I found out really the most is with doing interviews. Sometimes I'm afraid to do them because they pick on things that I don't want to talk about. I mean, like the past is the past. Don't keep on, oh, you're too skinny. Are you too that? You don't eat a burger. And I'm just this weight. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing. So that I was just kind of laughed at. But I mean, I remember someone wrote like a hoax, and they said Tara Reid's dead. And all these people started calling in. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, so there's just some things that go too far, but sometimes when you do react to it, the press and the media take more stuff out of it and it makes you less. So I think being strong and like picking yourself up and really talking and the truth. And I just feel like a lot of people don't know who I really am. They don't realize that I'm smart and I have all this stuff. Because I think the media kind of almost turned me into a cartoon, for a while. And it was just kind of out of control when I was younger.
I feel, everyone talks about bullying. You really were a victim of bullying on a very high level with tabloids, with just
It wasn't
overall
easy.
cruelty.
It wasn't easy, but you know what? I don't think I'd be the person I am today
Yeah.
if I didn't go through all that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's coming around and going around, but it made me stronger, and it made me more humble in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind what really happened, because I think everything happens for a reason.
Do you ever keep in touch with like Lindsay or Paris on Zoom or like Clubhouse or anything like that?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. It's not like every celebrity's friends with every celebrity.
See, in my mind, everyone's friends with everyone.
When we go for reunions
Yeah.
or we go to MTV Movie Awards or anything like that, we always run into each other. So
Yeah.
everyone's
That's
friends,
great.
But
That's really sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like DJ's the
Yeah.
only person I hang out with, like even outside of COVID, like, so I get it. Like, I don't hang out with people that I hung out with like 10 years ago. It's
Yeah.
like, you make new people each couple of
you meet new
years.
people,
Yeah.
new crowds, like
Yeah.
and your taste does change. And I remember one thing that my mom taught me. She said it just takes one bad apple to ruin everything. And you know what she did? She taught me that. She went and she bought 5 apples in real life.
Yeah.
She put them in the bag and she put 1 rotten apple in the bag. The next day, every apple went dead. And that's kind of the same thing with people.
I have a question, and if this is something you don't want to talk about, say, DJ, shut up, and I'll be quiet. Neva does it all the time.
Just do it.
Forget like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. When I was in high school and college, the royal couple for me was Tara Reid and Carson Daly. Do you think the tabloids were responsible for ultimately destroying that relationship?
100%. I mean, the gossip TV was the worst, and these tabloid people that were terrible. You know what I mean? Like, you know who I'm talking about, like, basically.
You're talking about a Harvey Levin?
No,
DMZ?
I mean, yes, in the beginning, and then Harvey was cool, but Perez Hilton.
Yeah, Perez Hilton was so mean to everyone.
Everyone. And then all these people would pick up the stories and keep printing them, because I sell in tabloids. Everyone knows that. But it's unfair what they're saying, and
it isn't fair.
And it's very hard once you're that big to come back.
I have to ask you, this is so weird, but so I'm just going to say this, and again, if you're not comfortable, by no means. During the election, there was this other Tara Reid who was in the news.
That was crazy.
Wasn't that so weird?
Because everyone thought I was a Tara Reid.
We were like, this is
that
so
was
weird.
Insane. We got so many calls and so many interviews and I'm like, I'm not that Tara Reid. I'm like, at all. And it even spells her name different, but she's like 40 years older than me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then the fans got involved and they're like, we don't want him anymore because he did this to you. I'm like, he did nothing to me. I don't even know him.
I don't know that man.
I mean, there was that, and then there was the other movie about Cougar or the lady.
the tiger person.
Oh, Tiger
Yeah.
King.
Tiger King?
Yeah, so there's all these movies. I don't know how it started that I was doing it. A fan wrote it on, and everyone went crazy. They're like, "Oh my God, are you doing this movie?" And then it was at the same time as the Tara Reid thing. It was all over the press, and it didn't even make sense, and everyone wanted an interview and stuff. I'm like, what am I doing the interview about? Because they don't have the role. And do you know what I mean? And I'm not that Tara Reid.
Yeah.
And so everything they did, the press made it me, but they spelled her wrong, and the big actress Tara Reid.
That's so weird.
It was just crazy, and I'm like, because the media doesn't want to stop with me, so they want to just keep making.
I
things
know
up.
they want to
so
have a connection
that was
with
the
you.
most ridiculous thing in the world. I was like,
so
are
funny.
you kidding me?
Tara Reid in 2021. Are you currently married or in a relationship?
I'm not married, but I do have a boyfriend who's great,
Oh.
and he makes me laugh too.
Is he Canadian? Like
No, he's not Canadian, but he's from Minnesota, so he was like a really
so it's
nice
similar,
guy.
because it's
Yeah,
like
so
borders,
like,
yeah.
He doesn't have an ego. He right now when I was trying to do the Zoom, it wasn't going through. The computer was dead. He was on the phone trying to do a deal, and I was freaking out. I'm like, God, help me! And he's like negotiating, and then So I mean, I have a lot of things going for me. Like I'm happy. I have a true love.
Good.
He loves me. He doesn't judge me for anything. He
amazing.
takes me forever I am, and that's a real relief. And I haven't had that because everyone tries to judge you a lot, and he doesn't. And there's something really like you two get along. We hang out. Obviously, we live together.
Yeah.
Every day. We do every. He'll even help me with my lines. Going over
That's the best.
He's not even an actor, but he's actually pretty good.
He's good, right?
So it's just made life a lot. There's something about when you could, have that relationship like you have with your wife, like that really settles you down and makes you more confident.
Yeah, it's so true.
They're there for you.
Yeah.
And as you asked me the question, to go back to your first question, it wasn't easy. I mean, when I was younger, like I was kind of the it girl at the time. We had so many movies and they were all one of the biggest films. And then it kind of dropped. Well, it didn't kind of, but it was a struggle. You know what I mean? And so then I decided this time I can't wait for a script, because they're not coming in. And I said, okay, we're going to make them up ourselves. So we hired a bunch of different writers, great stories. And I think this is going to be the biggest year of my life.
I love
and
that.
I think so too. You're like taking control of the narrative. You're making your own stuff, doing both sides.
'Cause
Like
there are no more gatekeepers. It's
Yeah.
time for us to just overcome these gatekeepers that
I
have
agree
prevented
with
us from
you.
making
I
our
agree
content.
with you so much.
Us, Tara, we're in the same camp.
Yeah, I know. He was like, it's time for the three of us to have.
But we wanted to play this really quick, fun game with you where we ask super quick, fun questions, and whatever comes to your mind.
Just answer.
Okay.
If you were a ghost, how would you haunt people?
Here's another crazy story.
Oh,
So,
good.
my boyfriend and myself, have you ever heard of Sedona?
Oh yeah, in Arizona.
Arizona,
of
Yeah,
course,
spiritual.
yeah.
So it's a really spiritual place.
Yeah.
So we bought these crystals and all this stuff. We were supposed to stay like 4 days. We wound up staying there for a month, right?
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Then on the way home, you had to pass the Grand Canyon, right? So little did we know, this hotel we stayed in is the 5th most haunted hotel ever.
Ooh.
And there's a book about all these people that like died in it and all this
Oh my
crazy plane crashes. And we saw some weird stuff, but there's one chapter about the wandering woman, right?
Oh.
That's a ghost. We saw her about 4 times, and no one
No.
really spotting.
Oh my God.
So that was like, once we found that out, we wanted to leave that night. We were terrified. You know what I
Wait
mean?
a minute.
No,
You
I mean-
saw a lady wandering, like
Yeah,
a
no,
ghost?
she was wandering. She was a wandering woman. And then I had in this apartment, sounds ridiculous again, but it's true. There was a guy ghost in my apartment, and his name was John. How I know that, I can't explain it.
Yeah, you
Right.
just
But
know.
They're ghosts, but they're transparent.
Yeah.
Like he had a
Sure.
flannel on and jeans, so it was pretty wacky, you know. But I don't think I'd want to haunt anyone. I think, you know,
It's a weird
I
question.
don't think I'd want to haunt anyone. I think, you know, they because here's the thing: if you see a ghost in real life,
Yeah.
if you say, "Go away, you're scaring me,"
Yeah, you tell them to go
They
away.
listen.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they listen.
That's what they say in the movies too, like all those ones with Patrick Wilson.
Ghosts are all about consent. You know, they're very respectful.
And then my dad, to wrap up this story, because these are all true stories that people don't even know. My brother lived upstairs from here. So I was doing a movie, I think, in Vancouver, in Canada.
Oh.
And I was shooting, I think it was Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
And so we were there, and my dad stayed at my house. And I told him about this ghost. And he stayed at my house, and he calls me up the next day. He goes, "Tara, I saw John."
Oh my God.
No, like he did. You know, it was crazy. But I mean, you know, I wasn't scared of him. I felt like if the whole building shook in, you know, in an earthquake, I would have been saved.
Yeah,
You know
John
what
would have
I'm saying?
protected you.
Yeah.
John is a protector.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I considering everything that we've been through, up and downs in my career, I know I have a lot of really good guardian angels watching over me, because there's no way.
100%. Yeah.
And I believe in all that stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I love that stuff.
Me too. I think you're
Alright,
great. I
Nisa,
love that you love all the same things I do. You guys are, I mean, I'm so enjoying that. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. And, you
Are
know,
we going to be best friends after this?
yeah, you can. We can
I
make
knew
a
it.
Zoom call every week if you want.
You know, what did I say?
A Zoom
Did I
call.
not say we were going to become besties with Tara
He
Reid?
said
I
it.
There
said
you got it.
So Neves, finish up your
Okay,
question.
okay. If you were a piece of furniture, what piece of furniture would you be?
A couch for sure.
Okay, I love that. Okay.
Good, that's good.
If you were a dog, what would your name be?
I mean, I like this stuff like Beso, because it means kiss.
What should DJ and I name our firstborn child?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Are you pregnant?
No.
No.
Okay.
But when
But
she
I
is.
am.
Like, I think if you have a boy, like I always thought this name was cool for a boy, is Reef.
Oh, cool. I've never heard that. That is
Ooh.
cool.
Reef Lubell.
For a girl, I would like to call her Sky.
This is our last question.
Okay.
Tara Reid, do you like us?
Oh, you obviously know. I told you 100 times. I love you guys. You're great.
Stop asking.
Yeah, we always
we always
just need
ask
constant
people.
approval.
It's just funny.
Tara, thank you so much.
was so
we
fun.
Sincerely.
Yeah, you guys were great.
and
I really
appreciate
enjoyed
it.
myself.
I
and
loved
good luck with
this.
everything.
Thank
really.
you. You
You
too.
bet.
I
guys
can't wait to
deserve it.
see your stuff. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you.
Yeah, and you guys deserve each other. I'm really happy for you. That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
And you also think we have a good voice, right? When we sang
Yeah,
the
you
American
both
Pie
do. You
thing.
have good voices, but you guys really rhyme together. You
Thank you.
I can't explain it. The energy is there, and you can
You're
see that,
amazing.
and I think that's beautiful.
Tara Reid, you really are a very, very special person, and we're so happy that we had a
Well,
chance to
thank
talk
you.
to
I appreciate that.